For decades, traditional medicine has managed chronic joint pain by attempting to drown out the warning signals of a damaged system. Legacy drugs like corticosteroids and NSAIDs do not rebuild damaged tissue. They function as biological static, temporarily masking pain while the underlying structural degradation continues. While the pain is muffled, M1 macrophages remain active. These are immune cells that, in chronic states, function as a demolition crew, aggressively tearing down native collagen and preventing repair. Flooding the joint with these chemical suppressants often results in a signal deficit state. This occurs when the inflammatory noise is so high that the local tissue can no longer receive the body's natural commands to initiate healing. When a joint enters a state of chronic decay, the primary obstacle is not a lack of raw materials, but a breakdown in the transmission of cellular data. This environment is dominated by oxidative stress, which acts like biological smoke. These erratic molecules create a chaotic state, destroying repair signals before they can anchor to the tissue. To reverse this process, the body requires high-fidelity biological data transfer. Repair depends on the quality of the instructions sent to the cells, not the volume of the chemicals injected into the space. We are shifting the focus from adjusting a mechanical machine to updating a stalled communication network. True restoration begins with providing a clear, precise signal that the body's internal systems can actually recognize. The first step in this update is the administration of molecular hydrogen, or H2. H2 serves as a redox force multiplier, a molecule that selectively neutralizes toxic radicals to stabilize the metabolic environment. As this diagram shows, H2 molecules target and neutralize those erratic, spiky particles. This clears the biological smoke and stabilizes the cell's mitochondrial power grids, reopening the pathways for new information. Establishing this stabilized environment is a fundamental prerequisite. Attempting to deliver repair instructions into a highly inflamed joint is similar to trying to build a structure in the middle of a hurricane. Once the static is cleared, the Regenerative Signaling Factor, or RSF, protocol delivers a high-fidelity biological instruction set, known as a secretome. When this signal strikes a cellular receptor, it triggers a cascade of internal activity. This initiates a workflow that activates the cell's dormant manufacturing machinery. The RSF protocol acts as a general contractor, delivering the proteomic instruction sets that trigger the macrophage pivot. This forces the destructive M1 cells to transition into M2 cells, which are specialized for building and remodeling tissue. This pivot establishes a permissive environment for repair. It demonstrates that native cells are capable of rebuilding the joint once they receive specific, data-driven instructions. In the chemotaxis phase, the general contractor releases chemical beacons to recruit host-resident stem cells and fibroblasts from the surrounding tissue. Recruited cells lock into structural anchors like fibronectin, sequestering them at the injury site so they don't wash out. During angiogenesis, the body sprouts microscopic supply lines, blood vessels delivering metabolic fuel and oxygen to sustain tissue repair. This orchestrated sequence transforms the joint from a resource-depleted environment into an active zone of tissue integration. Standard diagnostics often focus on simple stability, whether the joint is physically intact on an X-ray. However, a joint can appear stable while still causing chronic pain due to microscopic structural imbalances. The goal of this protocol is to restore tensegrity, the dynamic balance of tension and compression. Tensegrity allows a joint to distribute physical loads evenly rather than transferring force directly to the bone. RSF therapy promotes this vital structural balance by directing disorganized collagen fibers to align into a load-bearing 3D lattice. The realignment of these fibers resolves the microscopic shearing and friction caused by structural failure. By re-establishing this internal pressure balance, the joint can once again handle daily mechanical stress without the pain that often leads to surgical replacement. The process follows a chronological arc, from halting damage in the repair phase, laying a foundation during restore, and finally reaching structural maturation in remodel. This matured tissue creates a hydraulic cushion, a biological shock absorber that protects the joint surfaces from grinding during movement. The RSF protocol provides the high-fidelity biological signals required to drive the structural restoration of the joint, moving beyond temporary symptom management to initiate a comprehensive rebuild of the tissue environment.